Hey folks, Randy Gold, Trout Magnet Man here with you today. We're going to do a review today of a JDM rod, the Yamaga Blanks Blue Current TZ 6-foot 10-inch jig head model. But before we start on that, I want to thank all of you that are watching my videos, leaving comments, leaving likes. It means a lot to me. Really appreciate the support you're giving me. I'm just trying to pass on information as best I can. I'm really grateful that y'all are watching, and just want to let you know that. This rod, it's about as good as they come. Now, you can spend more money. Are you going to get a better rod, a more sensitive rod for what it's designed for? I don't think so. It's possible. When you start getting into these high-end JDM rods, you can get to splitting hairs, no doubt about it. But this rod is rated for PE line or braid from 0.2 to 0.4 and rated for fluorocarbon from 1 pound to 3.5 pound test, which tells you this rod was designed to use with braid and fluorocarbon. Now, you can use monofilament with this line. I use Trout Magnet 2 pound test SOS monofilament line with this rod and do just fine with it. But the Japanese, when they design a rod, they really do design, I mean, it's designed to catch a species, it's designed to fish a certain weight lure, it's designed to fish a certain type of line. So this rod is going to really shine when you put braid and fluorocarbon on it. The weight of this rod is 2.1 ounces. To me, that's remarkable for a 6-foot 10-inch rod. It has all Fuji components. The guides are Fuji titanium frame with Torzite inserts, which helps keep the weight down. It also is more rigid to help the rod provide greater sensitivity. The handle is the EVA grip. It's a Fuji grip. This rod, when you look at it, of course, it's called the Blue Current, and I'm going to assume that the color of this is a deep navy, but it looks black to me, but I guess you could say it's a deep navy blue. There's no flash, no bling on this rod. It has gold thread wrappings. The name is on the rod in gold color, Blue Current Jig Head Special 6'10" TZ. But there's nothing flashy looking about this rod. But let me tell you, it gets the job done and gets it done well. This is an Ajing rod. It's a tubular tip. It's a 2-piece. I have caught thousands of fish with this rod. My intended use for this rod, now that I know what it's capable of doing and what it's for, is I take this rod any place I'm targeting smallmouth or big bluegill. And when I go to Dale Hollow, that lake is full of big smallmouth and it's full of big bluegill. And I'll go up there chasing the big bluegill, but you're going to catch some smallmouth, and you better have a rod that can at least steer them and you know, have a little bit of backbone to it. This rod, I mean, you know, I don't know what else to say about it. The fit and finish is excellent. It's a fairly it's an extra fast rod. There's no doubt about it. It's a stiff rod, as all Ajing rods are. This rod feels great in the hand. The graphite content on this rod is 99 4/10%. That's amazing that they can do that and still come up with the resin and press the blank and make it to where it will bend, because as you know, graphite by itself is just stiff and it breaks. It doesn't bend, but when you mix it with other things, it bends. But 99.4% graphite, that's pretty amazing. This rod is just a dream to cast. And you think when you get this rod, when you first get one of these in your hand and you're not familiar with Ajing rods and the Beirut rods, you think, how is this going to cast a jig head that weighs 1/64 ounce? Well, they can do it. The lure rating on this is 0.3 or 0.3 of a gram to 6 grams. I'll let y'all look that up and figure it out, but that's you're talking probably 1/100th of an ounce, and the 6 grams of gold, you know, that's a fifth, maybe a sixth ounce. I have used this rod successfully many times. A trip 2 years ago, I fished a spring at Dale Hollow. I didn't fish it this past spring, but 2 years ago, I fished it in 1 week, in a 5-day period there. I had 250 smallmouth and lost count of the bluegills that I caught with this rod. It was just a pleasure to fish with it. And I will include a picture of some of those fish I caught in the video. Obviously, I wasn't doing videos then, so I don't have any video of those fish. This rod, I have purchased 3 Blue Current TZs. I have an 8-foot 3-inch model long cast TZ. I purchased a 6'5" jig head special for a friend of mine who rigged my boat. He absolutely loves the rod. My nephew bought the 6'10" TZ. He absolutely loves the rod. He loves it so much that in one of his missteps, he broke the tip off the rod. He didn't hesitate. He went right back online and ordered a replacement top. He loves it that much. This rod is great for fishing a trout magnet on a stream when you're fishing for trout, and it's because it's extra fast. And if any of you have fished a trout magnet for trout, you need an extra fast, or you need a fast rod. An extra fast is even better to get a good hook set the way trout will hit a trout magnet or microplastic. It's not like fishing. You know, of course, I'm no trout expert. I used to trout fish all the time. Haven't fished lately, but when I do go trout fishing, wade fishing, this will be the rod I take. It just gives me great hook sets. I can feel it if I'm not able to see the bite. It's just a great rod to fish. Like I say, there's just not a lot you can say from one high-end rod to the next. I was recommended to purchase this rod. Matter of fact, I think this was the first high-end rod I ever bought out of Japan. And I got this on the recommendation of a gentleman out of South Africa who was on the Tackle Tour forum. And his name on the forum is All Sorts. And he has recommended several things to me that I have purchased. He is spot on with his assessment of JDM gear. He knows what he's talking about. And he had brought up him and Chris Stewart over at Tackle Finesse, or finessefishing.com. I'm sorry. Yeah, Chris is at finessefishing.com. Posed a question to me, you know, are you not fishing the proper lines that these rods were designed for, which will give you more fun for the equipment that you paid a lot of money for? And their assessment is correct. These rods, while you can fish monofilament with any of these rods, you can fish whatever you want to with these rods. These rods do give you the best performance upon the lines they were designed for. Now, having said that, at Dale Hollow, I fish with Trout Magnet 2-pound test SOS nylon monofilament. It has a lot of stretch, and it doesn't break at 2 pounds. It breaks more like 3.1, 3.2 pounds, which gives me the confidence I'm going to get them 21-inch smallies in, and I do. I mean, it's fantastic for that. I may try some polyester line on here. As I've said in the earlier videos, I'm probably not going to be fishing with straight through fluorocarbon on this because I can't see it. I can't even see it to put it through the jig head to tie it on. That 2-pound test, just can't do it. And getting harder every day to see the Trout Magnet SOS 2-pound test. But for those of you looking for a really, really super sensitive rod that'll give you fun on bluegill, will allow you to go out and tackle some largemouth, and this rod is it. You're not going to miss any bites with this rod. I mean, when I say it's sensitive off the charts. This rod, I didn't look it up today, but it's running right around, I don't know, $300 delivered. A lot of money. I know it's a lot of money, but this is a lot of rod. I hope I don't break it. I've had it for several years. I don't know what I would do if I did break it. Well, I'm sure I know what I'd do. I'd buy another one. That's what you get into when you're buying these JDM rods. When you start fishing them and you break one of them, and I broke two, you don't want to be without them. So you find a way to replace them. This rod also, I want to point out, is actually made in Japan. I don't know how many of you who have never ventured down the JDM road are aware, but not all JDM rods are made in Japan. Not all high-end JDM rods are made in Japan. I think I've said before, I have a high-end Megabass Ajing rod that it doesn't say where it was made. I've been told that it was made in China. I have ticked ice cube. I'm not sure where it was made, but it doesn't say made in Japan on it. They're great rods. Just because they're made in China doesn't mean they're great rods. They have Japanese quality control, and they put out a great product. That's a fact. But the Yamaga blanks are actually made in Japan. They will have production runs. If you want to buy one of these rods and you go online to Digitaka, or you go online to Platt, or go online to JP Angler, and they don't have any of these, and they say out of stock, they'll be back in stock. Japanese have production runs on their high-end rods, and I'm not sure how long that production run lasts, but they'll make up so many, and they won't make any more for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it is. And then what happens is, when just about every rod they make on that production run somehow gets sold. They're just that popular. People want them. So if you're hankering to get one of these rods, don't be discouraged when you go to one of the Japanese websites and see it's out of stock. You can buy this rod off of eBay, but you're going to pay a big premium for buying it from the seller from eBay in most cases. So if I was you and I wanted one of these rods, I would wait till Digitaka gets them in, or Platt gets them in, or JP Angler gets them in. You're going to get a fair price on the rod, and you're going to pay the shipping, and that's going to be that. Not a lot else I can say about this rod. Just as I've already said, it's a fantastic rod. I want to thank All Sorts for recommending it to me. It has performed way beyond my expectations. So once again, folks, thanks for watching the videos. I appreciate it. We're going to do more reviews, more equipment. I'm going to be ordering more equipment. It's going to be a never-ending process as long as I'm fishing. My next purchase, I'm strongly looking at getting a evergreen limber tip Ajing rod, if I can find one. If not, I'll search for another one. So anyway, folks, hope you're having a great day. Soil up them all. Life is good.